Hello everyone and welcome to another knockoff review. In today's video, by popular demand, we're taking a look at the latest offering from KO company TAIKONGZHANS. Now they are the ones that gave us the amazingly awesome oversized Starscream and Ironhide. Very good movie figures, and this is actually a downsized figure. This is the Cool Become Brave, the Kubian. Basically a downsized version of Hasbro's Combiner Wars Devastator. Now there lies some confusion when it comes to this set. The box itself looks very much like Hasbro's, kind of scaringly so. And it says 18 inches 45 centimeters, which is incorrect. That is a big porcupine. That's where people are getting confused. They're going by the dimensions on the box. This is ripped straight from Hasbro, that size chart thing, completely inaccurate. And I mean, we even get a Shao Kahn logo on the bottom there, which is a fake Hasbro one as well. And here we have him out of his plastic prison with about 30,000 cable ties holding him in. We get a screwed up set of instructions on how to install his crane arm that was literally attached to the crane. And we get this box in here that we can open up, and that is a folded up poster again of that artwork from the back, and a rather large set of the instructions. Folded. There we go. That's the instructions. Now, scale wise, he is substantially smaller than his Combiner Wars counterpart. He is definitely nowhere near that 18 inch or 45 centimeter mark. Now, I don't have any of the combiners anymore, unfortunately. They were some of the first things to go, and I don't have the original Devastator to compare this to either, because my son actually gave that to somebody with their dying wish to have a Hasbro Devastator, and my son stepped up and actually donated his, which was very kind of him. But this is a deluxe swoop, just to give you an idea. You know what, I actually think that's a pretty decent scale, especially for those who still collect the Combiner Wars combiners. This is pretty much nigh on exactly the same size. Measuring in at around 13 inches, that's 33 centimeters. I mean, getting close and personal. The detailing isn't overly lost on something this small. In fact, I actually prefer the scale. This does feel substantially lighter than the Hasbro equivalent. Sculpt is still there, but I did like all of those upgrades that we got from the various different third-party companies. Of course, we don't have any real Decepticon insignias on this figure, unfortunately, so again that would require you to get some stickers. We'd have the same articulation out to the side. We had the bend on the elbow. I believe this is based on the slightly simplified Hasbro version as opposed to the Takara, which had those additional bends of articulation on the individual bots. We do have ratchets still on those thighs. Upper thigh rotation, still a very high thigh bend. On here we have the standard feet, and we have the mixer as well. Nothing's been drastically simplified, it's just a lot smaller, and I think there's a good market out there for this. Personally, I like the size of the other one, but if you are a Combiner Wars kind of Power of the Primes combiner collector, then yes, they look very different indeed. The size is drastically different. Just to give you an idea, here he is alongside the Titan Predaking, so slight difference in scale there. Now, as previously mentioned, this doesn't feel like Hasbro. It doesn't necessarily feel cheap like Poundland plastic, but it's definitely not high-end. You can tell why it's the price that it is. You know, for the money, I think you're getting what you pay for. If we want to just disengage these limbs and these chest pieces, we can take a look at the individual bots in their vehicle and in their robot modes. So let's just transform these down. These actually feel much more like the G1 counterparts. They're much smaller, much more like the kind of deluxe stroke oversized Legends. Connections definitely aren't as secure as the Hasbro versions either. Nothing really tabs in as tightly, but on the grand scheme of things, that is not the be all and end all. Again, same can be said. Much more kind of on par with their G1 counterparts. Not a great deal of detailing in there, but at the same time does what it needs to. Get a quick look at some of our downsized head sculpts. Nothing too bad in there. Bring these up, bring this over. This is gonna close off. Again, no real overspray or anything like that, no abnormal sprue marks, nothing out of the ordinary. This does not extend, unfortunately. Disengage those legs. Fold these wheels in, make sure this is all tabbed in fully. Again, nothing that you wouldn't expect for all the money, really. Just fold these up out of the way. Something I really liked when we got the Combiner Wars upgrade kits. They made more sense of this cement mixer. But I know it's based on a real vehicle, which is absolutely fine. We've got a little bit of smudging there on those windows. I just think that some of the other companies have done him better. And last but by definitely no means least, just move these out. And to the side. There we go. Our sixth and final member. He's meant to go across to the back. Oh, I can't remember. Possibly. But again, you get the idea. Again, with swoop in the shot, just to give you an idea of scale, each of these vehicles are measuring around 4 to 4.5 inches. That's about 10 to 11.5 centimeters in length. So they're not quite Legends scale. They're definitely kind of a more deluxe scale in robot mode, deluxe scale in combiner mode, and maybe the XL Legends in vehicle mode. And lastly, let's transform these up and see how their bot modes fare. Again, not too shabby really on the scale of things. Definitely could be a lot worse. There we go. I mean, that's not a bad head sculpt on there, especially for the size. Nothing else we can do with that height though. Unfortunately, that is the size he is. So we just got to kind of deal with that. Again, bringing in swoop, just to give you an idea, you know, so far so good. Let's bring this back, bring these out. I remember thinking why on earth they made some of the design choices they did with that Hasbro version and then changed them up for the Takara version. They're making more engineering for themselves. Never really understood. Again, pretty nice sculpt there. No elbows, no sideways elbow action, unfortunately. Really loose peg there on hook. First loose joint that I've really had. And these screws are pretty darn tight on the toes as well. There we go, that's the crotch coming together. And the arms. And the arms. There we go. Again, pretty decent head sculpt on there. Elbow bends, but really loose thigh joints. I mean, it's not the be all and end all because they're things that aren't going to take forever to fix. It's just a matter of tightening them with some like pledge polish or something similar. But I guess it's something that not everybody wants to have to do to get their figures how they want them. There we go, again coming together nicely. Here we go, there we go, down, down, and split the feet again, and flick down those hands. Now you'll notice when you get this set that the joints, unlike the fists and the feet, are very loose indeed. Some of the worst joints out of all of them, but again, sculpt on these guys is not bad at all, especially for the size and scale. One of my favourites from this Devastator set as well, although he's got sideways elbow action. There's the head. One, two. And here we have them all transformed up into their robot modes. To give you an idea, I mean, they're all pretty much the same sort of size as the deluxe class figures, which is good. You know, that's how they should be, in my opinion. So those of you looking to army build, personally, I think these are a very good option. I love how they all look, especially with the likes of Swoop. And I mean, it's not going to take a great deal of effort to put some stickers over those insignias on there. The paint on these are pretty good as it stands. A little bit of tightening on some of those joints, but all in all, the sculpt is very well done. I like what they've done. I would like some individual weapons for these, but I imagine that's something that's going to pop up on Shapeways or something similar any time from now. And something I know some of you would like to know, here they are alongside some of the Iron Factory Legend class figures. To give you an idea, I think that actually works really well. I mean, they're going to be bigger because of the characters that they are. Maybe they're a little bit too big, but I think it's nice to have options. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the TAIKONGZHANS Undersized Devastator. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Like I said, it is not as good, in my opinion, quality-wise, as the Hasbro one, but it's not far off. It's definitely not Poundland plastic. I'm pretty heavy-handed when it comes to figures like this, and I've not managed to break this one yet. The joints do pop off where they're not hinged or screwed in, such as those feet or the arms, but other than that, it's a remarkably nice set and a cracking piece, especially for that low cost. Once again, I'd like to thank TF Direct for making this review possible. I've included a link where this can be purchased in the description below. And until next time, from myself and the TAIKONGZHANS Devastator, thanks for watching, goodbye.